It's my pleasure to introduce Penelope Magoulianiti, who is a prolific speaker and the author of Women, Motherhood and Independence, A Guide to Financial Freedom, Beauty and Confidence After Childbirth. She helps mothers find the balance between family and work life, as well as helping them to pursue their dreams and ambitions. As an ex-corporate executive, a wife and a mother of two, Penelope is all too aware of the pressures and demands placed on mothers. Through her book, her website and related services, Penelope offers straight-up advice, techniques and principles for mothers on various topics including confidence, health and beauty, and financial independence.
Thank you. Standing by you there. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Apart from being an author, I am a proud wife and a mother of two adorable children, 7 and 4. And my passion is to help women find their own voices so we can create success on our own terms. Because I believe that our success is determined how the others want us to determine success, and not how we feel and how we love to be successful. Before I move on, I would like to thank Alicia and John for inviting me here. Thank you very much. And I would also like to acknowledge you and thank you all for being here. Thank you. I have a corporate background and I have studied finance with the University of Manchester through distance learning while working 2 jobs. My parents couldn't afford to send me in the UK to study, so I was working and I was studying. And thank God for that. I've learned a lot. Throughout my banking career, I obtained various qualifications. I used to hold an FSA license in the UK, an ABE license in Cyprus, and I was an approved life insurance broker. For 20 years, I worked at Laiki Bank, out of which the 6 were here in London at the private banking division. I resigned last July after the events of March 2013. Working in the corporate world for 20 years gave me the knowledge and the experience of the corporate culture, the different leadership styles, but it's also, I had to face the obstacles that career women are facing in a predominantly men's world, where we have to fight to get recognized every single day. My decision to resign wasn't an easy one, but I knew I wanted more for my family and for myself. You see, those first 2 weeks after the bailout and the subsequent haircut made me realize that this wasn't the life I had envisioned, and that I didn't want to live my life with so much stress and so much negativity. During those first months, I wasn't present when I was at home with my family, when I was with my kids and my husband. I was constantly thinking of work and what was happening and what emails I should have answered and how many phone calls I should have taken and the arguments and the accusations. My days were very stressful and very, very tense. You see, fear makes people forget politeness and manners. Working in an environment where you have no idea what is going to happen next, having to deal with angry and frustrated clients, and having no management to guide you and support you was so draining. I was coming home overwhelmed and very angry, and as I said before, not paying attention to my children. During those first months, I have to admit, for all those of us that were working at Laiki Bank, and Laiki Bank, for those of you that you might not know, was forced to close down after the bailout. I was working there for 20 years and I didn't know if I'm going to have my savings back, if I am going to have my pension back, my provident fund back. We are going to work and we're thinking, what if tomorrow we don't have income? What if we go home tomorrow and for 20 years I've been saving money and there are no money for me and my family. So when I woke up in the middle of the night by the screams of my 2 children, my babies, ages 3 and 6, were screaming at 2 o'clock in the morning. They were screaming and they were shouting, "Mommy, no, leave alone my mommy," because they were afraid that something was going to happen to me. On that particular moment, I've decided that this is it. No more. I couldn't live my life like this anymore. I knew that I had to do something to protect them first, and then I had to protect my health. I realized that if I wanted to become the best example I could be for my children, I had to leave from an organization that I didn't believe and I didn't trust anymore. And I am a strong believer that we should follow our dreams and ambitions, and that we should not be afraid to get out of our comfort zones in order to achieve them. And now, unfortunately, not all women think this way. Our culture has taught us to stay within a job for a lifetime. I did that for 20 years, even though I had numerous opportunities to go and work somewhere else. But I was okay with my little comfort zone. Within my little comfort zone, I had my pension, I had my provident fund, I have all the benefits, life insurance and everything, so it was okay. I stayed there even though I wasn't happy. In Cyprus, still today, we believe that if we have a secure job with a steady income, it makes no sense to resign. And that's why professions like banking and being a government employee used to have such a low turnover. We used to believe, and a big percentage still believes, that if we work until the age of retirement, then the government will support us through our pensions and our redundancy packages. The reality is right now that this cannot be the case. With a country only a step away from bankruptcy, going through difficult and harsh reforms, it is in our own hands to secure our futures and not to expect others to do it for us. In Cyprus right now, for the first time since Turkish invasion, we have Cypriots with no food on their table. We have Cypriots queuing to get food. We are feeding thousands of students at school's breakfast. This is the reality right now in Cyprus. And this is why, as women, we need to step up. Stop playing small, stop expecting from others to help us, or expecting things to just happen by a miracle. We have to understand that we have the power to create our own miracles. And with unemployment levels so high, people are desperate. And instead of looking at ways to turn the situation around, they are accusing the politicians, they are accusing the bankers, they are accusing the political parties. Yes, they have big responsibility in what happened in our country. But we have big responsibility too, because we've placed our hopes and our dreams on them. And we didn't take the appropriate measures to look after ourselves. We used to determine our success with the positions we used to have. We were under the wrong impression that it is our position that is going to give us the identity. We were under the wrong impression that it is going to make us to stand out from the crowd, and that it is our position which is going to make us happy. Instead of working on developing our personalities, instead of working on our self-confidence, instead of believing in ourselves and understanding that we can achieve whatever we set our mind to, we have chosen to leave others control our finances and our lives. Even today, women are taking the back seat. A January 2013 article by the staff of my clinic titled "Depression in Women: Understanding the Gender Gap" reports that approximately twice as many women as men experience depression, and about 1 out of 5 women develops depression at some point in her life. And in Cyprus right now, we have lots of unemployed women who are fighting depression. Certain cultural issues and life situations, like the ones I have described now, can cause this extra stress. Inequality of pay still exists, and it can contribute to the extra stress. Lack of status, excessive workload, which causes women to feel more insecure and less confident, and as a result, women are showed up having less faith in their capabilities. Women believe that it is in their duty to do too much. We believe that what is expected from us, what we need to do each day, what we're supposed to do each day, is go to work, look after the kids, read to the kids, take the kids to activities, clean the house, cook, and then be relaxed and full of energy when our husbands come home. It doesn't happen. It is overwhelming, it is tiring, and it is so draining. And when you reach at this point in your life, it is a matter of time when you are going to break. It is not if, it's when. As women, we have to realize that no one is going to take care of us. We should take care of ourselves. Nobody is going to show us respect unless we decide to respect ourselves first. No one is going to love us unless we decide to love ourselves first. It is time to step up and realize that anything is possible, provided we want it enough to pursue it, no matter what. What is important is to have peace now, is to be able to breathe now, to feel relaxed and happy now. My journey to where I am today, having my book translated in 3 languages, English, Greek, and Spanish, being hosted in local and international radios, featured in magazines, giving speeches in Cyprus and around the world, wasn't a walk in the park. I had doubted myself many times, and I have cried a lot. But no matter how many times I failed, no matter how many times I doubted myself, I also found the courage to keep going, one step at a time, one day at a time, because deep down I knew that what I do, my why, is my children. I want them to feel happy. I want them to have self-confidence. I want them to believe in themselves. And if I don't show up like I want them to be, they won't. So what is important right now is to know that our existence matters as women. It is important to understand what is going to make us happy and how important it is to feel happy. What we need most right now is faith in us. What we need is to believe that we can do it. What we need right now is to forget the traditional way of working and start creating income based on what it makes us really happy. If we want to change our lives, we must first change the way we see ourselves. We should not live beliefs like, I am not good enough, to influence us. More and more women nowadays choose the road of entrepreneurship instead of working for someone else. Lots of women are turning their passions into profitable businesses. We have numerous examples of yoga teachers doing 6-figure profits or more within a year. And this is the area I believe women in Cyprus need to concentrate more on. Some of us have already started working on creating our own businesses, creating our own economies out of our passions. We need more women to step up and create success on their own terms. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.